Have you ever heard of a city so beautiful, yet so broken? Let's travel back in time to the plains of the Jordan River, where two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, shimmered under the sun. They were lush, prosperous, and full of life. But beneath the surface, a deep unrest was growing. The hearts of the people had turned away from kindness and goodness. In the midst of all this was a man named Lot. He was Abraham's nephew, and he had chosen this vibrant place to build his home and raise his family. But every day, eating there was a challenge, a constant test of his spirit. He saw things that troubled him, actions that went against everything he believed in. He felt like an outsider in his own city, a lone voice for what was right in a sea of wrong. Little did he know, his world was about to be turned completely upside down. Meanwhile, Lot's uncle Abraham was having a conversation that would echo through history. He was talking with God. God revealed his plan. The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah was so great, and their ways so far from the path of goodness, that a time of reckoning was coming. Abraham's heart sank. His nephew, his family, was in that city. He felt a desperate need to intervene. So, with humility and courage, he approached God and asked, "Will you really sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 good people in the city? Will you still destroy it and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people who are in it?" God, in his great mercy, replied, "If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake." But Abraham was worried. What if there weren't 50? Bravely, he continued to plead. What if there are only 45? God agreed. How about 40? God agreed again. Abraham pressed on, down to 30, then 20, and finally, with trembling hope, he asked, "What if only 10 are found there?" And God gave his final promise, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it." This was a powerful moment, showing a deep desire for mercy, a search for even a tiny flicker of goodness to save a city on the brink. As evening fell over Sodom, two strangers entered the city gates. They were actually angels, sent to see the city for themselves. Lot was sitting by the gate, and when he saw them, he immediately recognized something different about them. He stood up, bowed low, and insisted they come to his home to rest for the night, safe from the dangers of the city streets. He knew the risks. He wanted to protect them. The angels initially hesitated, but Lot's sincerity won them over, and they went with him. He prepared a meal for them, showing them true hospitality. But before they could even lie down to rest, the night was shattered by a loud, angry noise. Men from every part of the city, young and old, had surrounded Lot's house. They were banging on the door, their voices filled with menace. They demanded that Lot send out the two visitors so they could harm them. Lot was horrified. He went outside, shutting the door behind him, and pleaded with the mob. "No, my friends," he begged. "Don't do this wicked thing." But the crowd only grew angrier, mocking him and threatening him. They surged forward, ready to break down the door. In that terrifying moment, the angels acted. They reached out, pulled Lot back inside the house, and shut the door. Then, they struck the men outside with a sudden blindness, so they stumbled around, completely unable to find the doorway. The contrast was stark. Inside, a flicker of safety. Outside, a chaotic darkness. Inside the now quiet house, the atmosphere was tense. The angels turned to Lot with a grave warning. "Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, anyone at all in the city? Get them out of this place, because we are going to destroy it." The outcry against its people has become so great that we have been sent to bring it to an end. Lot's heart pounded. He rushed out into the night to find the men who were engaged to his daughters. He found them and delivered the urgent message, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But they just laughed. They thought he was joking. They couldn't see the danger. They couldn't feel the urgency. Dejected, Lot returned home. As dawn began to break, the angels became more insistent. "Hurry," they said. "Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is judged." But Lot hesitated. He was frozen. Maybe he was thinking about his home, his possessions, everything he was leaving behind. Seeing his delay, the angels, in an act of incredible mercy, grabbed his hand and the hands of his wife and his 2 daughters. They physically led them out of the city to safety. Once they were outside, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away." The instruction was clear. The past was done. The only way forward was to not look back. As the sun rose over the land, Lot and his daughters reached a small town called Zor. At that very moment, the judgment began. Fire and sulfur rained down from the heavens upon Sodom and Gomorrah. It was a cataclysmic event, a complete and total destruction that wiped the cities from the face of the earth. Everything, the buildings, the people, all the plants of the plain, was gone. In the midst of this escape, driven by a pull she couldn't resist, Lot's wife did the one thing she was warned not to do. She looked back. Perhaps it was a longing for her home, for the life she knew, or simple curiosity. But in that one fleeting moment of disobedience, of looking back toward the past, instead of forward toward safety, she became a pillar of salt. She was frozen in time, a silent monument to the consequence of looking back when you're told to move forward. Abraham, watching from a distance, saw the smoke rising from the plain, like the smoke from a massive furnace. The beautiful, vibrant cities he had pleaded for were no more. This ancient story, as dramatic as it is, speaks to us even today. It's a powerful reminder of a few simple truths. It shows us the power of one person speaking up for others. Just as Abraham pleaded for the righteous, it reminds us of the importance of mercy, that even in the face of judgment, there is a deep desire to save, to find that flicker of goodness. And it talks about choice. The people of Sodom made their choices. Lot made his choice to flee, and his wife made her choice to look back. Every choice has a consequence, a ripple effect that shapes our path. It's not just about a city from the past. It's about our own lives. It encourages us to choose kindness, to move forward from things that hold us back, and to trust that even when we must leave something behind, there is a future ahead. It's a story of destruction, yes, but it's also a story of rescue, of mercy, and the enduring power of making the right choice, even when it's the hardest one. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more. See you next time.